I can't afford it into 250 an hour. So this happened a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And I've been keeping the inner circle in the loop on how this whole thing started and the narrative behind it. I got a phone call, really like through Messenger. I just call them phone calls so they could be like voicemail, text messages, whatever. I got a phone call from an old friend that has been following my Facebook profile. And you'll only get these phone calls if your Facebook profile confirms and converts. Otherwise, you will not be attracting the right types of clients and customers that you want to make the money that you want to live the life that you want to. You'll just end up being in a scenario where you just like feel like you're talking to the universe and nobody's responding. So let me do this. And so he called me a while ago and we were chatting all that stuff, sent me a message and I was like, all right, let me just call you right now. So I was literally on the phone with him Sunday night. I was driving back home and it was like a 30-minute drive. So I was like, great, we'll just talk, no big deal. And I said, tell me what you're trying to accomplish, all that fun stuff. And he says, I really need a Facebook ads guy. Really need Facebook ads. And I said, why do you need Facebook ads? He says, I'm starting a medical trial company. And I wasn't quite sure what that meant, but I let him keep talking. I said, what do you mean a medical trial company? He gets real life human beings to sign up, and then he gets paid to run medical trials. And so that could be anything from like sleep trials to placebos to real medications, and then whatever you want to call them. Like if you've ever been in college in between the ages of like 19 and 24, you've done one of these things, which is they sit you in a room, monitor you for 8 hours, give you a pill, and then like say, see you later, bye. And you end up getting paid like $250 per hour. Or sorry, you don't get paid $250 an hour. You end up paying like $100 an hour just to do it. And I did a sleep trial when I was an undergrad, and I got paid like $800 to sleep in a room with electrodes attached to a thing on my head. And I was like, this is great. And he said, so I asked him like, would you make an F ton of money? Like how much would you make if your Facebook ads worked the way you wanted it to? And this is all like setting it up for $250 an hour. And then he was like, kind of like unsure about like, how do I answer that? Like Jeff is going to like, blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm asking because if you're going to pay me $3 to $5K a month to do this, you need to be making a F ton more for it to be worth it, Cool. So now I've pre-framed how much the starting thing costs, which is correct. And I'm also pre-framed the fact that I know he needs to make a fuck ton of money from it for it to be worth it. And so I'm making sure that I'm understanding his goals, which is to have an ROI, make an F ton of money, stuff like that. And I said, I'm asking because like if you're going to pay me $3 to $5K to do your Facebook ads, you need to be making a fuck ton more because of it. And he said, yeah, okay, cool, that's awesome. And I said, do you have the budget and the dollars to pay for this? Budget and dollars to pay for this. And his answer was just no big deal. Now, if I was not thinking of the $250 an hour downsell, then, which I'm learning from Steph Signs, then that would have been the end of the conversation. See you later, bye. I have money to pay Facebook ads, tough shit, right? And so that's like the big challenge that most of these people make, which is I don't have anything else to sell, so guess what? We're done. And Amazon doesn't sell more stuff because they sell more books. Amazon just has more stuff to sell, so guess what? We're gonna have more stuff to sell. I asked, all right, do you have the $3 to $5K to pay for this? Do you have the budget in dollars? He said no. He's spending a lot of money on rent and staff, and we won't be ready for, I just go call them peoples, for another 2-3 months. Now that presents another kink in my plan of getting paid me money immediately, which is like, great, we can keep talking for 60, 90 days, and then hopefully it pays me $3 to $5K down the line, which never quite works the way you expect. So I said, okay, Mr. Johnson, we got two options here. We can either wait 2-3 months, start building a list, and then you pay me 3 to 5K to do it, or you pay me for consulting at $250 an hour, and I show you how to get ahead of the curve. I train your staff, record everything, and make sure you start building that money list before you open. Isn't that something you want? But pick your option. Wait 2 to 3 months, then pay me 3 to 5K, or you can start building your list now, and I'll train your whole staff how to do it for $250 an hour. He said, I think that's what I want. I said, okay, here's what you get with $250 an hour. First is a structured learning program that gets you your intended result. Recordings of everything you can then share with your staff. A video call where you can invite everyone you want from your company. And if for whatever reason you don't feel it was worth it after 60 minutes, I'll refund you immediately. So how about it? And he says yes. Cool. So we've got a yes. We literally have somebody who couldn't afford it. I'd have to wait 2-3 months, if then, to pay me 3 to 5K, which you probably wouldn't. And then I'm turning it to $250 an hour. What's cool is if we talk 2 hours a week, that's $500 times 2 times 4. That's $2,000. So in my head, I'm doing this math as I'm talking. So $250 an hour, teaching 2 hours a week is $2,000 a month, which is pretty fucking cool, right? So what did I do to turn this into money? I said, okay, if you're in, set up a group chat with me and people you want to join. I'll send you a link to my calendar where you'll pay, remember, an honest dollar-driven relationship, where you'll pay the fee, well, you just pay, and then you'll be able to choose time that works for everyone. And I'll send you a link to the video call 30 minutes beforehand. I'll teach you on blank. And then you can make your decision on getting another more. Okay, with that, it says yes. So from here, I go into Acuity. I set up a pay per hour or like a pay link or something like that. Acuity will allow you to send somebody a calendar link where they can only book if they pay. And that was it. And so I sent it to him on Sunday. And I said, here's your link. Take your next step. That was it. Then sure as hell, yesterday, I got a notification from Stripe saying, hey, you got $250 and I have a meeting today at 7 p.m. with this medical trial company who could not afford to pay me 3 to 5K for Facebook ads, that wanted to wait 2 to 3 months. We weren't sure if the darn thing was going to work in the first place. And instead of risking all of that, I turned $250 an hour, which, by the way, could really be $2,000 a month. So for everybody watching, here's your advantage. Do this. When you're talking to somebody at A or B or 1 doesn't have the dollars to pay you outright, B has to wait a long amount of time, or C, I don't know why I'm doing A, B, and C, or 1, 2, and 3, has to wait a long amount of time. And if the darn thing will work, then you go for hourly consulting. And there's a couple scripts in here that you can use and modify. Just make sure that, just remember the reason why people will buy or will not buy has nothing to do with the dollars per hour. And it has to do with what they get. So I made sure to say they can record the whole thing, invite anybody from the company. It's Q&A. It's a refund. Like, you want to remove the reasons why they will not say yes. And I can definitely see this number moving up to $350 or $400 an hour if I include, like, let's just say more structured learning areas, a course membership, some mini courses and stuff like that. They'll get it up and running. And you can end up using this as a testimonial maker for your future consulting hours, which is cool. So this type of stuff is definitely what allowed me to move from I can't afford it to $250 an hour. And I challenge everybody on this live right now to do the same exact thing, which I genuinely believe that you can. You can turn people that say, look, I can't pay $1,000 or $1,500, $2,000 an hour into, I get it, I understand it. Would you like me to train you and your staff on how to run Facebook ads? Here's what's cool. They probably can't afford to pay you, so there's no luck in, there's no advantage of squeezing blood from a stone. 2, you're not really sure if the campaign will work, so you're taking on the risk. Number 3, you do have to do a lot of work anyway. And number 4, if you're charging them X dollars per hour, you're keeping them happy. And down the line, they're going to say, oh, this isn't working. My staff can't do it, blah, blah, blah. How about I just pay you even more? Getting some money over time is a lot better than no money and waiting on it. So this is what you should be doing, this kind of thought process.